The air inside the federal courthouse was thick with unease. It wasn't just the gravity of the proceedings. It was the knowledge that today, something buried was about to be unearthed. Justice Amy Coney Barrett, known for her composed demeanor and unwavering control, sat rigid on the bench. But the mask was cracking. A soft murmur ran through the crowd as Vice President JD Vance stood, expression grave. In his hand was a folded, weathered document. He spoke with a clarity that silenced even the restless press pool. "Your Honor," he said, voice calm but cutting, "the truth I'm about to share won't just alter the outcome of this courtroom. It will force this country to confront a lie we've lived with for far too long." He raised the letter for all to see. Its edges were yellowed, torn slightly at the corners. "This," he said, "was written by Lena Harris, a mother who died heartbroken, believing her country betrayed her, believing we buried her son, Private Matthew Harris, not with honor, but with silence." Gasps rippled through the gallery. Justice Barrett's hands tightened around the arms of her chair. JD unfolded the letter slowly, reverently, like scripture. She believed her son died in a classified mission gone wrong. But the mission didn't fail. It was changed at the last minute. And that decision, according to every document I now hold, originated from this bench. He turned to Barrett. "Your signature, your approval." Barrett stiffened, then spoke, faltering for the first time in her judicial career. "Private military records are protected under national security. You're misinterpreting classified." But JD was already pulling out the next piece. A photograph. Grainy, time-stamped, undeniable. "You met with a private contractor connected to Operation Hollow River, a man who received $32 million in sealed compensation. The payout came from a discretionary fund, a fund you authorized." Silence. He stepped closer, voice steady. "Do you deny knowing him?" Justice Barrett didn't answer. From the jury box, someone whispered, "She recognizes him." JD lowered the photo. "I once admired you," he said, not accusingly, but with real pain. "But I made a promise to a grieving mother, and today I intend to keep it." He placed a second document onto the judge's desk, a handwritten memoir from a deceased intelligence aide. It named Barrett as the final signer of an op never disclosed to Congress. The courtroom doors opened. An elderly woman entered, her red coat vivid against the stark marble walls. Eleanor Harris, mother to Lena, grandmother to Matthew. JD stepped aside. "This is the woman Lena never got to be." Eleanor's voice trembled but pierced the silence. "You buried the truth, Justice Barrett, but this man brought it back." Tears streamed freely. Jurors, reporters, even a White House aide in the gallery. JD turned again, holding a sealed folder. Inside are transcripts, bank records, emails, all declassified by executive order. This is no longer a theory. It's a timeline. Barrett's face paled. "You said," JD quoted from a hidden audio file, "if the mother keeps pushing, we'll say her son broke protocol. That'll kill the story." Barrett flinched. "Where did you get that?" "From your assistant," JD replied. "She couldn't live with it anymore." The judge called for order. Cameras weren't allowed in the courtroom, but America heard every word through the live stream of journalists waiting outside. By midday, Matthew Harris was no longer just a name on a gravestone. He was the face of a national reckoning. Witnesses took the stand one by one. A cybersecurity expert detailed how Barrett's circle quietly nudged changes to defense protocols to cover gaps in equipment failures that cost lives. A former Pentagon liaison confirmed that Barrett met with operatives before the mission changed, an unauthorized exchange. Then came Margaret Olson. "My husband was a DoD analyst. Before he died, he gave me a flash drive." Inside surveillance footage, Barrett dining with the contractor, her voice clear. "Just make sure the mother never finds the real file." Even the court stenographer paused. A decorated Army veteran stood. "I was there when Matthew died. Orders were changed 12 hours before. Those orders came from this building." JD handed him a document. The soldier's hand shook as he read. "That's it," he whispered. "That's the change that got him killed." Barrett closed her eyes. JD's voice grew heavy. This wasn't an error. It was a decision, A decision made to protect a name, not a nation. Then came the testimony from David Harris, Matthew's father. He walked slowly, cane tapping. "When I shook your hand, Justice Barrett," he said, "you told me you were proud of my son's sacrifice. But it wasn't a sacrifice, it was a switch." He held up a faded letter. Matthew wrote, "If I don't make it home, please make sure someone tells the truth." He looked to JD. "You did." The judge turned to Barrett. "Silence," she warned, "will be taken as admission." Barrett rose, her voice cracking. "I didn't mean for him to die. My nephew. He wasn't ready. I changed the roster. I panicked." JD didn't flinch. "You chose your family over someone else's." Susan Whitaker, a trauma nurse, gave the final testimony. "Matthew didn't die instantly. He lived for 27 minutes. He kept asking, 'Does my mom know I wasn't supposed to be there?'" The audience sobbed. JD brought forward a wooden chair, worn, unpainted. "This was from Matthew's kitchen. His grandmother asked that it be here, so he can finally have a seat in the court that failed him." Every witness after glanced toward that chair. At the close, a boy named Caleb approached JD. "My dad died in Iraq," he said. "This was his medal. You defended someone when no one else would. I want you to have it." JD knelt. "I accept it in Matthew's name." The jury returned. Their verdict: no criminal charges, but a unanimous call for Barrett's resignation and congressional inquiry. They turned to JD. "We can't judge you, Mr. Vice President, but we thank you." Outside, he gave no victory speech. He simply asked for privacy, for the Harris family. Later, President Trump called. "You didn't just uncover corruption," he said. "You reminded us what courage looks like." JD's only request: "Let me speak once," from the Lincoln Memorial, but only if I can say one name: Matthew Harris. He did, and in front of a silent crowd, JD knelt. Veterans knelt. Parents knelt. In that quiet, something holy happened. America remembered what honor really means. And as the echoes of truth settled into the stillness of that courtroom, one thing became clear. Courage doesn't always wear a uniform. Sometimes it stands in silence, holding a letter, demanding an answer. If this story moved you, if it made you think twice about justice, sacrifice, and the power of speaking up, don't let it fade here. Subscribe to Hill Stories, because every voice matters. Every truth deserves a place, and together, we'll keep uncovering what others try to bury. Click that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and stay with us, because the next story might just change everything.